everyone, Jen from Journey to Wellness again. I'm back to show you some really easy stretches and mobilizations you can do in the office or if you're working from home. All of these can be done from the seated position in your chair really quite simply. So I'm gonna just run through them. So you can do some mobilizations and stretches for your neck first. One of the ones that I really like to suggest is the neck roll. So it's simply just drop your ear to your shoulder and roll your neck forward to the other side and roll back. And repeat this about 5 times or so. Another really good one for the neck is to just simply look over your shoulder. So you're going to turn your neck to one side, hold for about 5 seconds, and then turn to the other side, hold for 5 seconds, and you can do these about 5 times too on each side. Another one that I think is really important is called the chin tuck. So I'm going to turn a little bit here to kind of show you what I'm doing. So what you want to do, you can probably see my head is a little bit forward. I want to try and sit in as neutral a position as possible. And what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling my chin in and thinking tall. So think that there's like a string pulling your head up towards the ceiling. And you just want to simply tuck your chin in for about 3 breaths or so, and then relax. And you want to tuck your chin in again for about 3 breaths or so, and then relax. I like to do about 10 of these, and you're actually going to feel it right in the back of your head here when you do it. It's just going to help because we're so far forward and bent forward doing our work throughout the day. We put a lot of stress and strain on these muscles, and this will help to kind of strengthen the muscles in the back of the head. So these are chin tucks. Another one that I like is the upper trap stretch. And so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this muscle right here. So we want to try and relax the shoulder on the side that we're stretching. Sometimes it's helpful to just kind of sit on our hand. To do that, you're going to turn your head away and you're going to look down. And if you feel like you can get a little bit more of a stretch, then you can take your hand on the other side and just get a little bit of pull to your head. And you want to hold this for anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. Most of my static stretches I like to hold around 30 seconds. I know that's a really long time, but it's actually in the time that the muscle can relax. And then you're going to switch and you're going to do the other side. And the static stretches I generally like to do about 3 on each side. I think that's kind of a good number. So moving on to the hands and the wrists, you can do some circles. So rotating your wrists inward, rotating your wrists outward. Maybe do about 10 circles each. Spread your fingers wide, clasp your hands and push out in front of you. This is kind of a good stretch for the forearms and the fingers. I like to, again, maybe do this about 5 times or so. You could also do this stretch behind you. I like to do the stretch behind me because it opens up the chest. So what happens when we're working forward throughout the day is these muscles in the anterior neck and the chest get very, very tight. And then the muscles in the back of the neck and the shoulder get a little looser, and then it creates this kind of chain of dysfunction. So it's a good idea to do a chest opener. So with that, you can clasp your hands behind your back and push away from you. And you can see it pushes your chest out, your shoulders back, and that just kind of opens up again the muscles in the chest area, giving those a little bit of a break. So again, you can repeat these about 5 times. For the forearms, doing a prayer position, Can be really helpful for the muscles in the forearms because those get pretty tight typing throughout the day. You can also do a reverse prayer position and pull back up towards you. Both very helpful for the muscles in the forearms. Working on the upper back and shoulders, just kind of doing some punches towards the ceiling. Maybe 10 or 20 of these can be really helpful, just kind of opening up and loosening up those shoulders a little bit. Some forward rolls of the shoulder. Some backward rolls of the shoulder. Maybe 10 of each. For the low back, you can do a side bend stretch, again holding 10 to 30 seconds. Doing a side bend stretch to the other side. And maybe repeating these for a series of 3 or so. I also like to do kind of a spinal twist in the chair, and you can do that by crossing one leg over the other and supporting your arm on the knee there. You can give a little twist to the side. Switch legs, twist. Your twists you can hold for about 10 seconds or so. And again, you can do about 3 on each side. So we kind of stretched the neck, the hands, the wrists, the upper back, the shoulders, the lower back. What about the legs? I mean, we are sitting all day or a good chunk of the day, and our muscles in our hamstrings are getting very, very short and tight. So what I suggest, you can use a stack of books, a shelf on your desk, a small box, something like that. Put one leg up out in front of you and just bend forward. And this is going to give you a little bit of a stretch to the hamstring. If you want to give yourself a bit more of a calf stretch, you can actually pull on your toes, pull your toes towards your body, and even stretch your arm out. This is a nice little stretch for the back of the leg. Switch sides. Pull your toes, reach out. So these stretches, again, I usually suggest holding them 10 to 30 seconds. You can also do a stretch for your piriformis muscle by simply crossing your leg. This is a figure 4 or runner stretch, or also referred to as pigeon pose. If you feel like you can handle more of a stretch, you're just going to push down on your knee that's crossed over the leg, and you should feel a stretch right through the glutes, the piriformis, the hip. 10 to 30 second holds, and then you're going to do the other side, same thing. Okay, so those are my stretches. I hope you find them really helpful. We did them a little bit quicker than I would normally recommend, but I wanted to kind of roll through all of them so you guys could see what I suggest for each of the areas of the body. All right, see you next time. Thanks.